Hi dear viewers of Fiji TV USA. This is in addition to my post on the Facebook I just did. I promised that I was going to go on YouTube, but I was not able to access the YouTube from my cell phone. Sorry for the disturbance, you can hear some noise. Lockdown, I'm not in my studio. I would have preferred to go to um, one of the other locations or Shabelle College to do this, but hey, pandemic, we are locked down. Now, I wanted to do a little bit of extended presentation on the rule of law. Now, speaking of the rule of law, I'm glad and very delighted to see that Fiji government, the present Fiji government, the Bainimarama government, has done a wonderful job, and they have put the country back on road since returning to power as elected government, officially democratically elected government. So as a result of which, as was hoped, the country has really seen a marvelous footing back onto the Constitution and the rule of law. The rule of law, of course, as you know, begins with the Constitution. And in this regard, I'm very sorry to say that countries like Pakistan, with which I have a lot to do, I'm connected to Pakistan as a result of our Ahmadiyya Muslim Association, Ahmadiyya Muslim community spread all over the world in more than 200 countries today. So imagine how many followers, how many believers all around the world. And we are shocked, we are disturbed, we are, I don't know that I don't have the words to say to Pakistan government, the judiciary, the military, all hand in hand, in muting the provisions of the Constitution. Very well written Constitution. Pakistan's preamble to the Constitution says minorities' rights are protected. That's how it begins. Who are the minorities? The least, the smallest group perhaps are the Ahmadis in Pakistan, as you trying to wipe them out and limit them and rob them and take their possession of their mosque, etc., 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 and pass new laws. And the mullahs, the judiciary, the administration, and the military in the background. Come on, give me a break, man. What do you think? We don't understand the power of military and how military is manipulating the government. Everything is just put them as chess on the board and you move around things. Come on, man. We know that. Okay, given that scenario, they mute all these big promises spelled out in the preamble of the Constitution so that anybody who reads gets excited. Oh, this is a very democratic country. False, fake, BS. That's what I'm going to say. So the Pakistan government is a glaring example. Others may be, just photocopying their attitude, their style of government. It's not going to work. Every government in Pakistan fell flat on its nose. Imran government is no exception. Imran is playing, now that he has power, he's playing his games, But keep playing, sir. Keep playing. I have good news for you. You're not going to last too long. People are going to throw you out. One thing. Two things, where I am, United States, the United States Constitution, the mother of the law of any country. That's where the law begins. That's where the rule of law begins. That's where the rules are spelled out, the mechanism, the machineries are set up, the legislation set up, your legislative bodies, the law-making bodies, the parliament, the House of Representatives, and the Senates are all there, and legislative laws are made according to the Constitution. But Constitution is under threat right now as we speak. Now, if this trend continues, if standards are set now, it's going to be a painful thing for the future generation of United States, people living in the United States. There'll be no respect for the Constitution, and no respect for the institutions that are created under the Constitution. Example, FBI, the CIA, all these are institutions. When I was a police officer, we were looking up to these models as our primary, shining models to follow. I used to look for FBI cases, read everything we can grab, Time magazine, no matter how old the cases were. But if there was an involvement, if there was a report, a CIA report on Iran, Contra Costa, or whatever, we would read it just to understand how the operation went, how the CIA worked, and how FBI works. There are cases that you can read on FBI, marvelous job that they do usually. Not everybody is a bad cop. There are bad cops everywhere, but don't give them oxygen, okay? And don't just demean them for no reason. They are there to perform the work as honestly as possible. Are there wrong buddies? Yeah, there are wrong buddies everywhere. And they get rooted out. One day or another, they get rooted out. So what I'm saying is that the rule of law is very important. And Imran Khan of Pakistan alluded to this in his speeches last year. I talked about it. It's just not you give speech for the sake of impressing others. Implement the rule of law. Respect the rule of law. And I'm very glad, I'm very proud to say that my country, Fiji, which had been under over 40 years of military rule since 1987, when the first coup was executed, and it was a race-based to demean and reduce the power of the Indian population, and no justification for racial. And then there was other military coups, several of them, I think 3 or 4, to the time when Bainimarama party had to intervene and take over. And that Bainimarama, being the military guy at the time, I believe he had no option but to take a military action to uproot what was going on. But the good thing is Bainimarama has returned the government to democratic government, and I'm so pleased, so delighted to know that today we have respect for the rule of law. My case that I submitted just a couple of days back to the Attorney General, Ataaz Khaiyum Sahib, there was a very prompt action. He, got things moving. I'm sitting here in United States of America. So, and very prompt action was taken by the Bar Police. My congratulations to you. Thank you very much. You have taken my sister out of a big depression and, stress. At the same time, I want to tell the Commissioner of Police, the Brigadier General, that I meant no disregard to you or disrespect, but I stand for the law. I taught law in Fiji. I trained police officers. So I think you're going to give me some credit for that. Okay? I don't care whether you tell me or not, but I do care when my country, in my country, when things are not followed the way it's supposed to be. So you and I were at some kind of a crossroad, but I'm very glad that your office staff contacted me eventually, and action has been finally taken. My congratulations and thank you to you too, but overall, my deepest thanks to the Attorney General of Pakistan. In closing, what I want to say is that as I just finished doing this legal brief in an appeals case, I came across, I've revelation of a sex scandal, which is a separate matter, and I'll be addressing them. But now I want to give you a tip right ahead of time. This is very disturbing to me. Right here in the Bay Area, people were involved in a sex scandal. This disclosure came as I was preparing the documents. That is a subject that is very bothering me very, very deeply, and some people will be in trouble, because when I finish doing this, my next move is to focus on that. And I'm holding my tongue. I don't want to reveal anybody's name at the moment, but at the end of the day, I'll have to take an action, and some people and in a particular organization will be in trouble. Right now, I'm going to give you a heads up on that. So, and if I get a chance, I might come back with that segment later on, but keep in touch. Thank you very much for listening. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye.